Welcome back to Crypt Custodian. This is part 2, and we are currently in Pearl's Shrine. We still have a lot of exploring to do in here. So as I just go around cleaning up all the garbage in this area, if you remember from the last video, we unlocked a door going up from that statue. So that's where we are going to be headed. As you can see, I went to the left and I'm really just kind of looking around, but I cannot cross that gap yet. So this is why we have to go up, because going left, we don't have the upgrade required yet to be able to cross larger gaps. Don't worry, we'll be getting it very soon. This really is a beautiful game. It was made by a very small team, as you'll see when I show the credits. So this is quite an accomplishment. As we come up here, we can speak to Pearl. As you can see, this shrine for Pearl is Pebble's friend, and Pearl is still alive. So I guess this is, you know, maybe the dead have remembrances for the living, kind of like we do for the dead. So make your way over to these fireballs. And once you get up behind them, there is a jukebox disc. So be sure to grab that before we move on to the next area. Then we can head to the right. We're going to have to deal with a couple of these fire things. They're actually not all that difficult unless you have to fight enemies with them around. Here we have another spirit cat head. So as you see, the screen pulls out and you can see more. So what we want to do is hit this thing down and to the right, and it will go down into this corner. Then we want to hit it up and to the left to bring it back to where it was. Then we can hit it straight across to the right to open up the gate. And as you can see, once that gate opens, we have another gate. So the easiest way to do this is to hit it up and to the left, and that will open up the next gate. Those can take a little bit of brain power. They're not too bad, but they do get harder and harder as you go along. You kind of have to think outside of the box. As we take care of the enemies in this room, you can see I'm going back and forth trying to decide which way I want to go, because we can either go right or we can go up. And it looks like I chose right first. This is going to bring us to a statue with enemies, but we are surrounded by fire, which is going to make this quite a bit more difficult. Thank goodness we don't have a lot of enemies to take care of. So do your best here. Try to avoid the fire, of course. And unfortunately, the fire does not stop even though we've completed the statue. So go to the right and up, and we see a lot of fire. So try to time it to where you can walk through all of these flames and hit the lever behind this wall here, and then work your way back across. And we want to go over to this moving platform. which as long as you stay in between the fireballs, you should be fine. Here I do go up. There are a couple of enemies in here, and you'll see several rooms that are like this. It looks kind of like a small room, but it actually has a lot of stairs that go up and down. This area, we will not get to that until much, much later. I see I was a bit indecisive during this video. So we went up, but we just exited back to the fireball room, and we're going down now and to the right. Here we have another statue, and you will see flames falling down. We have to avoid all of that and avoid the enemy attacks as well. This one is pretty, for being just the beginning of the game pretty much, this one can be kind of difficult. Just remember to take your time, try not to panic, just, you know, get in hits where you can. And once you complete the statue, the flames will stop, so that's helpful. We'll exit to the right. And when we head up the stairs here, you're going to see that we get the landmines upgrade. This is actually a special attack. So like we use the super sweep, and it uses up the blue stuff in the jar in the upper left corner. We can switch it over to landmines if we like. I personally never use this at all during the entirety of the playthrough, but that's completely up to you. If you'd like to give it a try, you can do that at a well. So now we're headed back to the room that we left earlier. These enemies are back. We did not completely clear the area of enemies, so oftentimes if you killed a few but not all of them, the ones you killed will return when you go back to that area. So as we go up the stairs, that's that area we can't access yet, so we'll go up even further. This is that little carving there. I guess that's a pearl. That can help you remember the area, you know, like a landmarker. Here, I'm really just going around and making sure I've cleared the area of enemies before moving along. And sometimes you can come to these areas and kind of look around. You may see areas that are hidden that maybe you can't access yet. So I decided to go upward, and there's another enemy statue here, so take care of all of these guys. Once you're finished, you can go to the left. And we come to a well. So for obvious reasons, you know, you want to save and get any health back that you may have lost. But we are actually getting ready to fight a boss. So if you have not equipped all of your upgrades yet, you may want to do that. Just whatever you have so far, you may want to equip it. And we want to head upward. You will see Pebble's broom, and that's an indication that obviously something is wrong. And these piles of dust, you do have to jump and slap them to collect the garbage. And as you go up, you will see We are getting ready to fight the pot full of spiders. This is the very first boss we encounter, so it's obviously going to be the easiest. You do need to beware because it spits out all these little spiders. You can't let them touch you. It has several different attacks. You'll see this one where the spiders kind of come out in rows. Sometimes they're spit out and they're like little bombs. And when it runs, it leaves a trail of spiders. And when it pounds the ground, you'll also get the spikes. So do your best to avoid all of the spiders and hit the large pot when you get the chance. It'll fall apart more and more as you go. Those larger bombs, it releases large circles of spiders. And do be careful also, because if the pot runs at you, it can hurt you if it runs over you. We earned the pot full of spiders trophy, and we also have rescued Pebble. Pebble gives us a little bit of insight into what's in the palace, and you can see that magic mirror allows dead spirits to visit the world of the living, and it gives you just your very first indication that maybe Kendra is just really, really greedy. So you make a friend with Pebble, and then she gives you a gift. It's the air dash. So when you jump up and you press R1, you can dash in whichever direction you're pulling the joystick. So that's going to be really helpful to cross some of the gaps that we saw earlier that we couldn't make it across. Here you can practice on the left and the right. You can air dash to these garbage piles. So go ahead and do that and kind of get yourself acquainted with using it, because you're going to be using it a lot. Now once we've finished with that, there is a plaque that you can read on the statue in the middle there, but ultimately you want to head back down. And we also get an indication that we can do boss rush mode now. That is going to be the final video in the series. Boss rush is quite difficult, and I'm going to tell you, I finished it this morning to finish off that video, and my arm and fingers are so sore. It's a grind, just letting you guys know ahead of time. It's a grind. Head back down to the well and save. Now we can do a whole lot more exploring because we have the air dash now. And that is something that you automatically get. You do not have to equip it. We want to exit to the left. And here we have a couple of enemies to take care of. It won't be too much longer. We'll be almost finished with the Pearl Shrine area. You can see there's a gate, and there is an upgrade behind it, but it's going to be much later before we can access that. For now, I just went to the right, and you can use that lever to access the rest of the area. Take out any enemies that you see. This is another one of those areas that has a lot of stairs going up and down. You can see we've already gone down because the mini map, that area is it has appeared on the mini map. So that gives you a, you know, keep your eyes on that mini map when possible, because it gives you an indication of where you've already been and where you have not. So here I did go down, and you should recognize this area from just a little while ago. I went back up, and we're headed to a new room now to the left. And here you can see there's a lot of fire, but you can actually avoid it by going down and behind them. But we want to go down further because there is trapped spirit number 2 hidden over here. And there is a lever that moves a platform that will give us access to the other side. Up here, there you can see there's more fire, and just to show you, you can go up, you can go behind all the fire, and it brings you right back around. I'm not exactly sure what this is for, because it's very easily avoided. I guess it might be more difficult if you did not have the air dash when going in here. So we exit to the left, and you see we have another cat head puzzle. So as you can see, we want to hit the spirit head downward, let it bounce. And when it goes up to the top, we want to hit it to the right. And then make our way to the middle and hit it downward. And that gives us an upgrade point. That one is a little more difficult to see, really, what it is that you're supposed to do. Because you can't necessarily tell right away that there's anything there that would stop the spirit. So now we went to the right into the next room, and then we headed down, hit the lever, and if you remember, this is the same room where we found the jukebox disc. See there? We went up through the fireballs and got the disc. So now we're going to go head back up. Back to the left. And if you look over to the left, you can see there's something over there, but the air dash isn't going to get us to that area from that vantage. So we go up and to the left, taking out any enemies along the way. And then we can go down and access what turns out to be a new photo. And this is a Pebble Photo. This is the second one that we have found for her. And unfortunately, we get to see how Pebble passed. We're going to see that a lot in collecting photos. So now we want to head back up. Here I went to the right and down, but that is not the right way to go. I need to go up. Here, as you can see, we can air dash up now and get to an area we couldn't access before. This is our first time trial. So what we need to do is we'll touch this clock and it will move, and you have to quickly dash over to the clock again before the timer runs out. This is the first one we've done, so it's relatively easy. They do get harder as you go along, and you get an upgrade point for your efforts. And we've also got the 10 points trophy, and that's for collecting a total of 10 upgrade points. So now we can head back down, just air dash across. And you can see there that platform is moving, but that's just going to take us back to the well. We've already been there, so we're going to exit to the left. I am being a little bit wary here because my health is so low. So if you see me kind of hesitating, that's most likely why. We want to air dash over to the left and take this enemy out. They're not too difficult. You have to get the tip of their tail to get rid of them, and then they slowly dissipate away from back to front. So you have to be careful that they don't touch you before they disappear all the way. Here we came down. You can air dash across. This is a new area that we have not been to before. But as you can see, we're getting close to connecting a lot of these rooms. I think it's so useful to have the mini map in the corner, because when you're, especially in the beginning, when you're first getting used to this game, it can be kind of difficult to figure out where you've already been and where you need to go. So the mini map is super helpful for that. Don't forget to use your air dash and take out the enemies in this little area here. Those little spiders are so annoying. Now that's going to take us back around to where we've already been. So we're going to head back down and come down through here, and this brings us to a challenge chest. Every challenge is the same. You have to defeat all the enemies without taking any damage. But as you can also see, it gives you a heart. Every time you start a challenge, you automatically get a heart. So if you would not make it, if you would die, then you would get your life back. Your whatever life you had lost, you'd get it back. Once that's completed, you can collect your upgrade point and all of the garbage. And as you can see, we can go to the right, the left, or down. We have already been to the room on the right, but here I will show it to you. So now places we haven't been are to the left or down. So we're going to head down first. Be careful of the crumbling blocks when you're going down. Be on the lookout. Sometimes off to the sides there will be these large piles of garbage that you may not notice right away. we're getting quite a bit of garbage. So pretty soon here we should make a run back to the Sinner's Inn to see if there's anything else that we can buy from Marla. Until then, we're going to head down. You can see we have re-entered the Weeping Wastes, but we don't need to go there for now. It's just to show, you know, actually where it goes. So we're going to head back up. And then we can go to the left, and this will also be a new area. As you can see, there are lots and lots of the little crumbling blocks. You have to be very careful doing these, and the air dash is required for these because they're so far apart. Follow the path I took and it will lead you to a platform with an upgrade point on it. Here I followed the path back to where I originally was, and we can go up and to the right. This takes us to a room we have already been in. But as you can see, in the room above us, there is an area that we haven't gone to yet that goes to the right. So just because we've already been in here doesn't mean that we can't find something new or maybe access something that we couldn't before. Now I'm heading back up, but I honestly should have continued going to the right and then up, because you'll see in just a minute here, I'm going to encounter a gate. So I have to defeat so many enemies in order to collect the keys that will unlock this gate. There is one, but the other two, they're the bell ones, and you have to get pretty close to them to engage them. So I'm going to have to make my way back around and down and around to get to where I can actually take these guys out. So just do that, take these guys out, and it unlocks that gate. I'm actually not even sure what the point of that is, because you can still get around, you know, the room without that gate being opened, but, you know, I guess it's whatever. So we can go up now, and we'll be in the room that we've already been to, but you can, if you look at the mini map, you can see that to the left and up, there are areas that we have not accessed yet. And I don't think that we came over here when we first entered this room. So let's go to the left. We can see that there is another curse just over here. This curse is the Trail of Spikes. This one is very, very annoying. You have to defeat 10 enemies to remove it, and we get an upgrade point once you do that. But every step you take, there will be spikes that follow you, and after so many seconds, a spike will come up. So if you're still standing in the same spot, the spike will damage you. And when you're under a curse, you cannot get your health back. Now, it is different on the platforms. If you're standing on a platform, you will not have the curse. Jump on that platform, go over to the right, and we get to free Trapped Spirit number 3. You can see there I didn't quite make it to the platform. You may have to walk around a little bit to get to a point where you can actually access the platform, because they don't care if you have spikes on them. They just keep going. So make your way down and you can hit that lever. And down here we're back at the Weeping Wastes. If you make your way over to the left, we're going to run into Kendra, so you can take a minute and talk to her, and you'll see that you don't get injured when it's a cutscene. So even though the spike comes up when the cutscene starts, it doesn't matter. It's not going to hurt you. Also, if you're reading something, like if there's a plaque or a sign, you will not be injured by the spike. So you can see Kendra seems to be very upset that we've made friends. And even though we've been running around collecting all this garbage, she still doesn't like the fact that we have friends. That's pretty messed up. So once you've spoken to her, we need to go down. You can hit that lever and then air dash across to the bottom. And I'm sure you remember this area just from earlier in the last video. We're going to make our way through here, and to be quite honest, at this point, I am really just looking for enemies. I know I'm in a new room at this point, but these enemies are a little bit easier than some of the ones that were in Pearl's Shrine. So that's that much faster that we can get rid of this curse, because it puts a lot on the screen, you know, because of all the spikes, and then you have enemies that are trying to get you. It puts a whole lot on the screen. So if you come down, you can see there's a sign, and this will give you a little moment of reprieve. And this sign is from someone named Grizz, who we will be meeting shortly. We want to exit to the right. You can air dash across and come over to this well and save if you like. Going up brings you to the cat spirit, but we're not going up there. We're going down because we need to get rid of this curse. So just keep making your way down, looking for any enemies that might be useful in ridding us of this curse. And now we're wandering into areas that we have already been in. So you don't have to, I mean, you can follow my path if you want to know where the enemies are, but you don't need to follow this path for any other reason than just to try and get rid of the curse to find some enemies. We only have 2 left, so hopefully we can get those right here. Now that that curse is finished, do be careful, because even once the curse breaks, if there are any spikes that are already laid out on the ground, they will stay there. So just be careful and don't walk over them. Wait for them to disappear. So now I'm just making my way back over to where I was. I really just needed to get rid of that curse. That one is a particularly bad one. I can think of one other one that's worse. So if you take a look at your mini-map, we're relatively close to the well, where the cat that wants her children back, the trapped spirits. So we can head over there. Make a quick save. And then you can come and speak to this cat, and she'll ask you to find more of her children. And you can also see the ones that we have already saved as well. So now we're going to head back down past the well. Oh, well, I guess we're going to go back up. To the left, you can air dash across over here. This is where we saw that sign. So this is, we didn't get a lot of time to inspect this before, because we had a trail of spikes following us. So head back over here. Take out all of these enemies. I thought maybe I could get down there, but that is too far to air dash, so we cannot get there from where we are. You have to actually go to the left, and this is another one of the areas that we just kind of breeze through in a hurry. But we need to head downward, and this area will give us access to where we couldn't go just a minute ago. There, we're not going to be able to get to that lever right now. We're going to come back later once we have another ability. We'll be able to hit that lever. For now, we need to go down and to the left. Now this area here, once we go up, there's a house, kind of a broken down house. I am going to go inside and show you what's in there, but we don't have what we need to do this area yet. This is where we can potentially make a new friend, but we wouldn't be able to do what needs to be done there just yet. So we're going to head back, but it is good to be familiar, and you can see on the mini map when we opened up that room, it's a purple room. So it shows you that at that point you will no longer be in the Weeping Waste technically. We would be in a whole new area. So that's just mostly there for future reference. Here, follow the path of the broken blocks to the right, where we can collect jukebox disc number 3. And then when you cross over, there's the lever we couldn't open earlier. Now we can hit it, and we have access to that path now. So from the sign, we can go to the right and access the well and teleport to the Sinner's Inn. Once you come in here, you can speak to Pebble. She'll always be waiting for you here the next time you come in, and Kendra is also sitting here. I don't know who Kendra's friends are, but she really doesn't seem to have very many. If I didn't see how greedy she was, I would almost feel sorry for her. When you walk up to the jukebox, the 3 discs that we collected will automatically go in, and you can change the music. So there you go. You can choose whatever music you like and head up to Marla. And you'll see here that we can buy some items. I just purchased the Fresh Start, which gives you 30% extra damage when you have full health. Then you have all these others, and the Better Broom increases your attack damage by 30%. That's the one I'm going to buy. It is the most expensive, but that's okay. We have to buy them all anyway. And I don't have enough to get anything else right now, but that's fine. We can now exit the Sinner's Inn, and I'm going to equip the Better Broom. There's the Fresh Start. So if you're really good at not getting hit, you can use the Fresh Start. Or if you tend to run around a lot with just one health left, you can use the Ditch Effort. I really don't use the Fresh Start too much during the gameplay, but I use it almost every time in the boss rush. So we're going to head off to the right from the well. This is an area we've been to before, but since we left and spent so much time in Pearl's Shrine, all the enemies are back. This is a good opportunity to replenish any garbage that you just spent. We're going to head down. This is an area we have not been to. And we have the enemies that are holding the keys to that gate. And you can see there is a trapped spirit behind the gate. So we definitely need to take care of this. We do have to collect all 20 spirits for a trophy. And these guys are not too hard anyway. So once you take them all out, the gate will unlock. And we get spirit number 4. You can send her home to her mom. Once we've completed that, this room does not go anywhere else. So we do have to exit at the top, but you'll see I'm stupid. And I tried to jump across without realizing that there is a wall there, because what would be the point of a gate if you could just jump across behind it, right? So let's go back up to exit this area. And we can exit to the right. This again is a new area. And we come up on this. I really don't like this. It's a platforming section where you have to cross over using logs that are moving constantly. I was really careless during this part. But what you want to do is get on one of the ones that's going upriver and then wait till it gets as close to the top as possible and go over to the right and jump on the spot of land. And then wait as the logs are coming up. You want to cross over them to get to this small little island that holds the Spiky Demise upgrade. Yes, I died. So you see a cut and I have replenished health. So anyway, head back across, back down, and then from here we can just jump on a log and ride down. We're going to exit to the right. So you don't have to go across, just ride the log down. Jump onto the grass. And we can go down. Take out these guys in this area. Nothing crazy. It's just, there are quite a few, but they're not difficult. Now, once they're taken care of, you can go ahead and hit this lever. That brings up a box over there. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it in the water. For now, we want to head down because there is another time trial here. You're going to need to use your air dash for this one. And you do kind of have to be careful about which blocks you step on, because you don't want to send the clock to an area where the block has disappeared because you just stepped on it. Once you complete that, you get an upgrade point. And we can go back up to the top and then go over to the right where this box came up in the water. That's what happened when we hit the lever. Here, if you go up and to the right, it will also bring you to a new area as well. And this, there is a new enemy in here. Do be careful of these guys. They shoot 3 fireballs and they do follow you. So if you move, if it has shot 1 fireball and you move, the second fireball will track you. Here we want to make our way around and head down. Just be aware there's some garbage on the left. So here, when we come down, you'll see signs. You can stop and read them. And as you can also tell, that little dock there, go to the left, it goes to an area that we just came from. Remember, instead of going to the right and using the box, we went up instead. It just makes like a loop. There are signs all along this path. You can stop and read all of them. I guess we're not too afraid. Once you get here, you'll get a cutscene where you meet Grizz, who's really just another cat. So now we get the trophy. A plan forms, and that's for meeting Grizz. He is now a new friend of ours. And we have a plan to sneak into the palace. So once you talk to him, go over to the right and air dash over to that piece of land and you'll get the all-seeing eye upgrade. And then right above there is a well. So here we can equip the all-seeing eye if you have the points to do it. There I just put it on, like I took away one, and you'll see there are ghostly piles of garbage, and it also will show you hidden platforms. So it's very, very useful. Now you can save, and that's going to end it this time. So thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I can't wait to see all of you back here in part 3. So until then, Khajiit always has wares.